Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my February TBR. I plan to add a total of 7 books in my February TBR, but before getting into those books, I just want to tell you guys that my January reading has been going really good. I did face a slump for like 10 days in between the month because I was sick, but other than that, the reading has been going really good because I've picked up only wonderful books and I've been enjoying each and everything that I'm reading. So it is truly a wonderful start for the year in terms of reading. I'm planning to carry that same mood throughout the rest of the year also. I'm not sure that it's going to happen or not because I have so much other things to read and I'm also pretty much excited and hyped for most of them. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the books right away. The first book in my TBR is an adult high fantasy book and it is the beginning of a series. I'm talking about The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This has been sitting on my shelf for nearly 2 years now and I've not started reading it at all. But this year I'm really sure that I'm going to finish the Miss Bond trilogy and also going to continue on with the rest of the books in the Cosmere. This is also the book that we've picked to read in February for our book club. In January we are reading The City of Brass and I've not completed my reread yet. I've actually read it before, I'm just rereading it now and I'm also planning to continue on with that series also since it is completely wrapped up and all the books are out now. And when it comes to The Final Empire, here we deal with this world in which it reigns Ash and the actual villain of the story has won the wars 1000 years before and he's been ruling continuously. All the revolts that have been raised against him have ended as failures, but there is this group of people who are rising now in order to bring him down. The basic premise of the series is that whether it will happen or not. I've heard nothing but really great things about each and every one of Brandon Sanderson's books and I want to read all of them, especially the entire Cosmere collection. I've read the 2 standalones alone, which are Elantris and Warbreaker, but after that I did not continue on with any of his other works. So I'm more than excited to pick this up and I want to read all the other books also. Next we have another first book in a fantasy series and it is also a middle grade series. I've actually read this first book before, but I just want to reread this and continue on with the series because I plan to finish it this year. So the book is Eragon by Christopher Paolini, which is the first book in the Inheritance Cycle series. I read this first book in the summer of 2019, but after that I did not continue on with the series at all. I heard mixed reviews about this one and since it's also middle grade, I don't think it'll be completely to my taste. The main reason why I'm reading the series is because of the dragons and I usually like dragon based fantasy so much. Here we follow Eragon who one day while roaming through the woods finds this really huge blue shiny stone and when he takes it to his house, after a few days it hatches a little dragon and that dragon is the dragon whom we see on the cover. I remember the basic plot of the book but I don't remember everything intricately properly, so I'm just going to reread this and continue on with the series. So if any of you have read the further books in the series, please do tell me how they are and what I can expect from them. So yeah, this is the second book. The next one is not a fantasy book, so if you're a non-fantasy reader, I'm sure that you'll be interested in this one. It is a mystery book and also the next book in the series which I've been reading since the beginning of 2021 and it is The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is actually the third book or the fourth collection of stories in the Sherlock Holmes series. I read the first 2 novels, A Study in Scarlet and The Sign of the Four, followed by The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes in 2021, but after that I did not continue on with the books because I did not have the physical copies with me. Finally, I just went forward and purchased all the other books also. So I'm just going to continue on with the series and read it very quickly because I remember really properly that while I read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I did not feel bored at even a single point. I just wanted to continuously read the book and just finish it because it was super well written. I'm expecting the same from this one also. Since I'm reading them chronologically, after The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, this comes in the order that it was published, and I also have the audiobooks that are narrated by Stephen Fry for this entire series. So I'm just going to listen to the audiobook and follow this physically because I did that for The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and it was really awesome. I just want to continue it for the rest of the series also. So if you have an Audible credit, please do try and buy that complete collection of stories of Sherlock Holmes narrated by Stephen Fry specifically. It's over 70 hours in length, so it is more than worth a single credit. I'd highly recommend you to buy it. So yeah, the third book is The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. The next one is the first book in an adult grimdark fantasy series and it is Black Leopard Red Wolf by Marlon James, which is the first book in the Dark Star trilogy. I actually tried reading this twice before in 2019 and both the times I DNF'd it. I remember clearly while I read it for the second time, I made my way through half the book, but after that I was not at all able to push myself to read it because the writing style of this author is very bizarre and super strange. It takes a little bit of time for us to read it and understand what he's trying to say because each and every sentence can mean multiple things. Yet I want to finish reading this because I saw Daniel Green's review of this book and he also said that it is very frustrating to read this, but towards the end it all just makes sense and is completely worth it. So because of that, I want to give this a try and read it as soon as I can. Now I also have the audiobook for this one from Audible, so I'm going to listen to the audiobook and continue on for this one also. I was a bit skeptical whether I want to buy the audiobook or not because I can read this physically, but I was not able to finish it the first 2 times I tried, right? So I wanted some kind of support. So if I listen to the audiobook, I'll not get exhausted mentally and I can try and push myself to finish reading the book. The second book in this trilogy is also releasing in February. It is Moon Witch Spider King, which is also one of my anticipated releases for this year. So I'm planning to finish this in February itself. I'm sure that it is going to be tough, but I want to do it. The next book is a historical historical fiction if I'm not wrong. It is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. The reason why I want to read this book is because I read another book by this author, which is My Brother's Name is Jessica, in January, and it was really good. I'll not say that it was fantabulous or anything, but it was really good and very different also. I've heard only good things about this book too. And if I'm right, this is the most famous book by this author so far. Everyone that I've seen talking about this book have said that it will make you cry towards the end of the book. Even the blurb of the book does not say anything about the plot or the story that we are going to experience while reading the book. It says that it's not a children's book, it is to be read by young adults and adults. I don't know how to describe it, so I'm just going to read out the blurb for you. The story of the boy in the striped pajamas is very difficult to describe. Usually we give some clues about the book on the cover, but in this case we think that would spoil the reading of the book. We think it is important that you start to read without knowing what it is about. If you do start to read this book, you will go on a journey with a 9-year-old boy called Bruno, though this isn't a book for 9-year-olds. And sooner or later, you will arrive with Bruno at a fence. Fences like this exist all over the world. We hope you never have to cross such a fence. So if I'm not wrong, there is more than one character in the story whom we are going to deal with. I should say that I'm intrigued because it is very short and I don't know how it can make such an impact towards the end. Let's just wait and see. The next one is a contemporary romance, and it is also an Indian book. It is The Perfect Us by Durjoy Datta. I've picked this book up because I've read The Boy Who Loved and The Boy with a Broken Heart in 2021, and I liked both of those books very much. I know that this is one of his latest releases from 2 or 3 years back, and it was popular during the time it was released. I want to give it a try because it has been sitting on my shelf for over 2 years now. Here we follow this couple, Avantika and Deb, who've been together from college for 10 years now, and at this point, Avantika just feels that they are not right for each other and she wants to end the relationship. Deb is not ready to give up on the relationship because he thinks that he cannot find anyone else who's better for him than Avantika. They also have so many other social pressures which are going around them since they are at the age of marriage. I'm not sure how this is going to play out because this is a story about two adults in love, and both of those books which I read before also had romance, but it was not the main plot of the story. I just want to see how he has written this, so I'm going to read this. The last book in this TBR is the only non-fiction, and it is also a book from my 2022 non-fiction TBR. It is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. I can say that though January has been going as a really good reading month for me, I have not been able to focus on reading non-fiction because I have not been in a proper mindset in order to learn things. So I'm planning to catch up with my non-fiction reading in February. I want to start with this book because my brother read this last year and he told that it helped him a lot, and so I want to give this a try because he has really good taste when it comes to non-fiction books, and everything that he has recommended and I've read after that has been very useful for me. Another reason why I want to read this book is because I have this list of personal finance books which I'm planning to read in the years to come so that I can manage my finances well and also learn to multiply the money that I have. I'm sure that it is very much necessary in order to read books like these and apply the things that they are saying in my life in order to achieve all those financial goals that I have. I also know that this is one of the must-read books when it comes to personal finance as a category inside non-fiction books. I read 2 personal finance books in 2021 and both of them were highly useful for me. I'm hoping that this will also prove to be the same for me. Let's just wait and see. So yes guys, those are the 7 books in my February TBR, and if you've read any of these books, please do let me know down in the comments what I can expect from them and what is your view on those books. And don't forget to leave your February TBR also in the comments below because I'd like to know what you're reading. If you did enjoy watching today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.